guys, my name is Julie from That's So Julie, and today we are going to be sewing my very first ever sewing pattern, the Bowie Tote Bag. To start our Bowie bag, we will print out either the A0 file, which is a large format file that you can get printed at like your nearest copy shop, or the US letter A4 file, which is your print at home version. I did the print at home version, which is only 9 pages. So after taping and cutting out our pattern, we should be left with 3 pattern pieces: the strap piece, the bag piece, and the pocket piece. After purchasing this pattern, you will also get an 8-page sewing instruction booklet. I am more of a visual learner, so that's why it was important for me to do a YouTube tutorial as well. Transfer the quilting line from the pattern to the fabric piece using chalk. To assemble the layers for quilting, begin by placing the batting on a flat surface. Then place the fabric with the right side facing up, aligning it with the batting piece. Secure the layers together by carefully pinning around the edges, being sure to catch both layers with each clip. Sew the perpendicular lines from the top to the bottom of the pieces, taking care to sew through both layers. By sewing these lines, you will create a classic and simple quilted pattern that not only looks great, but also helps hold the layers of fabric and batting together securely. Remember to sew slowly and carefully, keeping the fabric layers taut but not overly stretched to achieve the best results. It might be hard to see here because I use black thread, but you should have 4 perpendicular quilting lines and it makes it look so cute, and I love that quilted look. If you have a serger, you can go ahead and take the pocket piece and overlock the top raw edge. If you don't worry about it. Just fold the top of the pocket inwards by 2 centimeters and press it flat. Then, using a top stitch, sew along the folded edge about 1.8 centimeters from the folded edge. To finish the pocket, fold the remaining sides inwards by 1 centimeters and press them flat. Proceed to place the pockets wrong side to right side and top stitch the pocket on the designated spot by sewing 0.1 centimeters away from the edge. Take the fabric bag pieces and place them right sides together. Align the sides and bottom edges and clip in place. Repeat with the lining pieces, leaving 10 centimeters open on one of the sides so we can turn everything right side out later. Once you've clipped your fabric bag pieces and lining pieces, go ahead and sew using a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Repeat with the lining pieces. Fold the fabric at each corner so that the cut edges meet and the right sides of the fabric are together. Pin the edges to secure them in place. Repeat these steps with the lining pieces. Using your sewing machine, sew a straight stitch along the pin edges, making sure to backstitch at the beginning and end of each seam. This will create the sides of the tote bag. Next, repeat with the lining bag piece. Take one strap piece and put it on top, right sides together onto another strap piece. After you are finished clipping into place, sew along the folded edge and one short edge using a seam allowance of 1 centimeter. After sewing, trim the excess fabric close to the seam to reduce bulk. Attach a safety pin or a bodkin to one end of the strap. Here I just use my hands because the straps were big enough to turn inside out. If you do use the tool, carefully pull the fabric through the inside, turning the strap right side out. Once the strap is turned right side out, press it with an iron to flatten and define the edges. Sew a top stitch at 0.5 centimeters from the edges to reinforce the piece. Repeat these steps with the other strap piece. Before we attach both of the straps, we want to turn our main fabric piece inside out. Take the two straps and align the unsewn edges with the top sides of the main fabric bag, right sides together. Align the center of the straps with the side seam of the bag. Pin in place and sew a top stitch at 0.5 centimeters. Repeat these steps with the other strap piece. Place the lining bag over the main bag assembly, ensuring the right sides are together. Align the top edges carefully. Pin around the top to hold the layers together, capturing the straps between the main bag and the lining bag. Stitch along the pin edge using a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Be sure to sew through all layers, securing the straps between the bodice and the lining. Flip the bag right side out through the lining side gap. Gently press the top edge with an iron to create a crisp, clean finish. I forgot to record this part, but with your sewing machine or a hand stitch, sew the lining gap closed. After pressing the top edge of the bag with an iron, pin the edges in place. Sew a top stitch around the opening of the bag using a 1 centimeter seam allowance, making sure not to include the straps. Your final step is to tie your straps and create a beautiful bow. It does take some time to get the perfect bow, so you do have to mess around with it. I find it helpful to try on the bag and see where you want it to sit on your body, and then tying it that way. Your Bowie bag is now complete. I love how this bag is a practical design but also very cutesy with the big bow. Whether you're headed to the market or out with friends, the Bowie bag will add a cute and charming flair to your outfit.